Hello everyone, welcome to PrimeTime ZW, powered by the Business Times. My name is Farai Mwakutuya. Today we're looking at a sector that seems to be on an upward trajectory. It is one of the key pillars for Zimbabwe's vision towards 2030 and economic growth, and that is the tourism and hospitality industry. To help me unpack and talk about some of the issues, particularly the investment opportunities in tourism, I'm joined by Mr. Christopher Sithole. He's the Interim Chief Executive Officer of the Zimbabwe Tourism Business Council. Welcome, sir, to the program.
Thanks so much, Farai, for having me.
Fantastic. As I did mention in the intro, when you look at all the metrics, tourism seems to be heading upwards. We see online that you voted the top 10 destination by Forbes, by all these international rating agencies. The arrivals are up. The tourism growth and investment is up. Is this an accurate picture of what is pertaining on the ground for those of you who are in the trenches, so to speak, and working in the sector?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, by and large, the statistics never lies. General statistics don't lie. And what we are witnessing is a growth trajectory. And this growth trajectory is informed by structural engagements that we have had as an industry. When you have voted the top destination by Forbes, that on its own is a signature statement on what the destination is capable of. Yeah. So it's not an end in itself, but it's a statement of intent to say, Zimbabwe, this is what we have seen you can do. And for us as the players in the industry, we take it with the humility and with the seriousness that let's up our game. And what we are witnessing today is deliberate efforts by both government and the private sector in making sure that Zimbabwe is positioned correctly. As an industry, I'll tell you that we are not yet there. We are not yet there. We know what we can do, and we are fully aligned with the government through the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority and the Minister of Tourism to make sure that we position our destination correctly beyond the Forbes recognition.
When you say you know what you can do and you are not yet there, why is there that gap? Why aren't you doing or fulfilling that potential?
We also need to take a few steps back and say we have been ravaged by COVID. Yeah. And the most affected industry in the economy was tourism because it just came to a total standstill. Yeah. So if you see that before COVID, we were at a certain position in terms of numbers, arrivals, and the tourism economy. And after 2022, you realize in 2022, we hit the $910 million tourism economy. 2023, we were 1.1 billion. 2024, 1.2 billion. 2025, 1.3 billion. And this is an upward growth, and we are happy with that. But what we are saying now is, can we now consolidate this? After consolidation, can we now expand on this? So there's consolidation, then there is scaling. So we are at that level in the process of the tourism product to scale it now. And that scaling basically means that we have to expand the product portfolio. As you may be well aware that when people talk of Zimbabwe, as an international tourist, what comes to mind first of all is Victoria Falls. Yeah. And I've always said Victoria Falls is not Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is not Victoria Falls. So what we are doing as an industry is to say, let's have deliberate destination marketing, which speaks to all the unique variations, the unique destination, the unique attraction that we have as a country. We talk of mana pools. We have to project mana pools for what it is. We have to project the Eastern Highlands for what it is. We have to project Great Zimbabwe for what it is. Otherwise, at the moment, we say, if we are on 1.3 billion today, and we have not even scratched
the 10%, surface.
20% of what Zimbabwe can offer the world, then the 1.3 billion is an understatement.
Whose role is it to project those facilities and those attractions? Because as you say, I mean, Victoria Falls almost sells itself and is sold globally. Wonder of the world, all these are World Heritage Site, all these other things. But there are so many other fantastic stories around some of the attractions you've talked about. Mana pools, Great Zimbabwe. So is it not you as the players who are not doing a good enough job to promote those other facilities?
Guilt is charged. Yeah, we need to acknowledge these things.
Yeah.
I think as a country and as a destination, we have done well. But as I'm saying, we can do better. So the buck stops with us as the private sector and as government. Yeah. At the same time, I need to give acknowledgement to what government has done. As of today, we now have a fully fledged board at the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority. We now have a substantive CEO in the name of Dr. Manyaya. And this now gives direction even to the private sector. Because by the end of the day, we always say the responsibility of marketing and promoting Zimbabwe resides with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe Tourism Authority can only do to a certain extent. We, as the players, we need also to come in and do our part. I always say in the tourism industry that it has to start at the destination level.
All right.
Yeah, we have to market Zimbabwe, the destination effect, before we talk about our individual properties. Yeah, whether they come to my property, to your property, is something else.
But at least they are here.
At least they are here. Let's market Zimbabwe first. And we are happy that the government has taken deliberate positions on that one. Where last year, end of last year, they put it in the press that they were looking for between 6 and 10 new tourism attaches. Now, that is not just a policy statement. It is an investment statement.
Yeah.
It is a destination marketing statement. And we need to acknowledge that and also now do our part as the private sector. And I am also happy to present to you, Farai, that we now see players deliberately taking on positions to market Zimbabwe through DMCs. We used to have big name DMCs in the form of United Touring Company, for example, UTC before. But today we don't have a brand of that stature.
Yeah.
But there are activities happening towards reviving DMCs to come to those levels, which will have global prominence, global recognition, and will be a true representation and a true representative of what Zimbabwe can offer.
While we are there, I mean, you've spoken about the destination marketing us as a country. Yeah. There is then always this observation or talk by certain quarters that we've marketed the destination, the people get here, the tourists come, and the price of the product compared to other destinations around us is too high. What do you say?
Yeah, that has been an accusation that has been thrown at us as a destination. And true, you if you compare our pricing models with the region, yeah, you may come to that position. But we'll also need to recognize that as a destination, we have unique features that we should price correctly. There is no other place called the Victoria Falls in the world. There's no other place. There's no other place called the Great Zimbabwe. Now, that comes with a price. If you look at the Great Zimbabwe, that's a pure and adulterated statement of the brilliance of the Zimbabwean people. What price can we give to Great Zimbabwe? That's the question. What price can we give to Mana Pools? It's priceless. Because it's priceless, it comes at a certain premium. So that one, we have to acknowledge that pricing differs on the basis of the quality of the product that you offer. Now, having said that, we also need to understand our own peculiar situation as an economy. Yeah. We have our structural issues. We need to contend with that. We talk about the connectivity, for example. We have one of the best airports, Harare Robert Mugabe International Airport. Unfortunately, an airport on its own is not the destination.
True.
It gives you access to the destination.
Yeah.
So we need connectivity within the destination. So the issue now is how accessible are our nodes from the airport to the hotel, from the airport to Eastern Highlands, from the airport to Mana Pools, from the airport to Gunaresho. If we are not correctly connected, this puts a price, a cost to get there. And that cost now can actually make us less competitive compared to destination, our regional competitors who are easily accessible. Yeah. So that can actually explain why, if you check the connectivity, we are not that connected. There was a time as a country where we had close to 47 airlines flying in. International airlines coming in, international travelers coming in, direct flights. Today, we don't have that privilege. As of last year, I think we're around 21, 22 international flights coming in. Now, imagine from 47 to 22.
Yeah.
At one time, we were 3, from 47 to 3. Now, the 22 was not realized overnight. This is, again, a deliberate effort by government to attract investment in the travel industry by making sure that travelers have at least some access into the country. But we still need to do more to make sure that we have more direct flights coming in. That's number one. Number two, within the country, we need, again, better access. Flights to Eastern Highlands, flights to Kariba, flights to Bonarejo, flights to Great Zimbabwe. I can tell you that it's very tiring for an international tourist to travel by rail for more than 2 hours. Yeah. So if you look from here to Kariba, how many hours? From here to Eastern Highlands, how many hours? And in between, how many decent stops can we have? So we also need to invest in that.
I suppose that point you make, for us, I suppose, because we are accustomed to doing road trips to Ulai or to Nyanga, we don't see it. But as you say, in most of these very developed countries, air travel is so, and rail is so quick that it's a 30-minute journey.
Exactly.
Yeah. Obviously, to get to those levels, I mean, some of these are very grand sort of projects. But even beyond that, we know that there are opportunities, particularly for infrastructure in tourism. So more hotels, more beds. I keep hearing that as much as we have so many hotels in Harare, we still don't have enough beds in this country.
That's very true. As a destination, we don't have enough rooms. We don't have enough. Never mind about the Airbnbs that are all over the place. Never mind about the Airbnbs, the lodges that we are seeing around. The issue is, in tourism, when we talk of beds or accommodation, we are talking about a certain standard. It's not that the ordinary bed. No. We talk of a certain standard. So for your viewers' comfort, as a country, we want the bid to host the Inter-Africa Trade Fair.
Yes.
That will start in 2029 to 2033. So the headquarters will be in Zimbabwe. So between 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, it will be hosted in Zimbabwe. And we are looking at over 130 countries coming into Zimbabwe. We are looking at over 100,000 attendees to that jamboree. Over 1,000 exhibitors. Now, this is going to be happening in Harare. Now, so just imagine for the 4, 5, 6, 10 days, 100,000 people comes into Harare. We are in serious trouble. It's a destination.
Yeah.
We are in serious trouble. So we need to invest in proper beds, proper rooms. As of March this year, we were talking to government, and the issue was we are short of 11,000 rooms, which we need to have by 2028. Right. So this is a massive investment opportunity for the country and for the capital city. And fortunately, as the tourism industry, in partnership with the government, we've said, how best can we make sure that we have this? Government have made a position to say, we are going to support you in make sure that where there is need for fast-paced approvals,
we'll do that.
We will be there for you. So we are happy with that position by government. And we are now engaging with our local banks to say, this is an opportunity for you to come in and be part of the tourism success story. And we have confidence in our banking sector that they are going to come on board, to the extent that on the 14th and 15th of July, we are having the tourism funders conference here in Harare. So that we sit down with the financial service sector and say, this is the stock of rooms that we want to have by 2028. Come in. Let's do this together as a destination.
And did you know, they will know, the comfort of knowing that this trade fair is coming these rooms will be occupied.
Definitely.
So there will be,
And the beauty of this is that in Zimbabwe, since we are having the headquarters of the Inter-Africa Trade Fair Company in Zimbabwe, it's going to be headquartered here. It's supported by African Bank.
Yeah.
So once it is headquartered here, after 2033, 2034, the hosting will go to another country. 2035 is back in Zimbabwe. 2036 another country. 2037
it's back in
Zimbabwe. So every other year, we are going to be having this huge influx of international tourists. Now, that is a boon for the tourism industry.
An opportune time. You did mention there, and I was going to come to it, Airbnbs, a big proliferation, and I think an opportunity also for citizens to participate in this sector. What's your take on that, this growth in Airbnbs, and in terms of a council, what is your view in terms of how we can actually even maximize this opportunity?
The B&Bs, they are a strategic intervention to the traditional hotels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have luxury boutiques, higher end, for that guy with the refined taste and the refined pocket.
Bespoke.
Yeah.
Sort of,
In the refined pocket. We have that. Then we also need to cater for the middle class. The local guy who cannot afford $120, $150 per night. Let's have that. And we are saying to our people, invest in that. But as you invest in that, engage with the sector. Engage with the Zimbabwe Tourism Authority so that your B&B reflects the barest minimum standards that are required. Otherwise, you build it, but when it comes to licensing, to approvals, you'll be found short. And that's wasted investment. So as the Tourism Business Council of Zimbabwe, we want an industry with integrity. And because we want an industry with integrity, it means we want growth in the industry. And that growth can only be sustained if we meet certain standards. And on that one, we cannot prevaricate. Yeah.
I also want to talk another area I think that we see growing, certainly in terms of appreciation, market and uptake, and that's the area of ecotourism. And I think countries like Zimbabwe here in Africa, we are particularly well positioned to be the leaders in ecotourism, to attract those international tourists who want to consume that sort of product. When we talk about ecotourism, what are we talking about here, and where is the opportunity for Zimbabwe?
So ecotourism, basically, we are going back to the basics and say, your tourism product, how eco-friendly is it? I can tell you, going forward, you will find that some tourists will not come to your establishment if you are not green. So the issue of greening your operations, greening your activities, solarizing your product, solarizing your hotel. Yeah. So this is an opportunity for even for communities. Where we look at the environment against the impact of tourism on the environment. So we need a balancing act to the extent that as a country, we are still very green compared to other destinations. And we need to deepen that. By investing in communities, by investing in environmentally friendly practices. So there's still a huge opportunity for investors, even at a small scale level. Yeah. So opportunities are there. And we are saying as TBCZ to investors, come in, invest in this. There is a huge appetite for this. Everyone's talking about ESG. Now, that ESG cannot be sustained if we are not environmentally eco-friendly.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some of these things that, again, we may not see here or appreciate, but I know I've been to events where they say, look, or facilities where they say, we don't have plastic water, but all our water is in bottles because of, and that's how far they're going with eco.
Exactly. Yeah. So even some of our big brands here in town, you get to a conference, you'll not see the plastics. Yeah, you'll not see the plastics. Yeah. So they are self-regulating because they are very cognizant of what today's tourists want. Yeah. It's no longer the traditional tourists just want a bed, some food. Some will actually go and check to say, how is your salad prepared?
What sort of ingredients? Yes.
How fresh is this?
Is it
this
organic?
or is it organic?
Yeah.
And to show that this industry is very progressive, if you visit some of our big establishments, you'll see that they actually prepare their own vegetables from their own gardens, which are organic gardens. And we need to deepen that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The tourist, as you're saying, is becoming more discerning and demanding certain things, certainly at an international level. And a lot of them will go online, will engage with AI, which we're told is now almost pervasive and is everywhere. As an industry, are we also positioning ourselves to be able to utilize AI to, share information, to get at the top of search engines and be the first that people see and that sort of thing? As an industry, are we being aggressive and progressive on that front, the technology front?
I will say we are being progressive, but we are not aggressive enough. So we are progressive, but not aggressive enough. So if you check on our properties or on the destination, you Google any of our properties as a destination, we don't come up so quickly. So there is a huge opportunity for the tourism industry to upskill on that one, so that we are AI compliant and AI driven. But beyond AI, what is going to be the differentiator between Zimbabwe and these other destinations? We will not be AI. We need to be there. We need to be easily identifiable, easily findable as a destination. That one we are not going to negotiate. But at the same level, we need to leverage on our uniqueness as a destination. What is unique about Zimbabwe? It's our people. Then it's these attractions that we have. We need to position them correctly and to talk about them correctly on all these platforms. So we can learn about AI and be AI compliant, but if we don't tell the correct stories, if we don't involve the prospective tourist in our stories, it has to be more experiential than anything else. Yeah. This is going to be the differentiator. Yeah. So we need to do more marketing, visibility, and influence. We have to control the narrative about our destination. Otherwise, at the moment, I can safely say we are not totally in control of the narrative about Zimbabwe as a tourist destination. That's why you'll find the Victoria Falls is marketed as an extension of a South African product. So that should stop. How do we stop it? By making sure that we make the correct noises in the correct platforms.
Storytelling, as you're saying.
Exactly.
Talking about that, I was just looking at some statistics here in terms of international tourist arrivals. This is for the first quarter of 2026. African tourists obviously lead that, followed by the Americas, followed by Asia and Europe. In terms of where you are sitting as a sector and your sector and obviously your experience in this sector, it's great that Africa, certainly, I'm very happy that we have African tourists that are leading that. Which other markets do you think are strategic that we can actually say, look, we need to increase the numbers that are coming from there? And how do we do that?
Asia, definitely, we need to increase the numbers. Europe, it has been a patient and a reliable market for us, but we still need to increase the numbers. Then Americas, the USA, UK, we need to increase the numbers, definitely. And at government level, we are not government, we are the private sector, but we work so closely with the government. At government level, the government has taken a position to say we're going to increase the number of tourism attaches. That is going to make sure that we are visible in those markets, we understand those markets, and we bring in the numbers. So we are very happy that a strategic decision has been made. So as a country, we believe that this is the correct pathway by government, and development in the tourism sector is government-led and the private sector driven. So where government points us, we
is
go
where
there.
you go.
Yeah, we go there.
And you are aligned in terms of where they've directed you to go?
Yes, we are aligned. We understand the rationale why they chose the 7 destinations, the 7 source markets. Yeah, we understand why they said, let's go to Turkey. We understand why they say, let's go to Canada. They understand that there are numbers, not just for the Canadians or the Turkish people, there are also Zimbabweans there. Now, those Zimbabweans are our first ambassadors about the product called Zimbabwe. So we follow where government is going. We follow. They give us signals. There's potential. We also do our market research, market analysis. And if it makes sense, we do the needful. And so far, we are doing the needful because the destinations chosen make sense.
Very lastly, Chris, I want to talk about, you did say Zimbabweans are our biggest ambassadors, domestic tourism. How is that doing?
It can do better. For the first quarter of 2025, we had the 2.62 million trips. This is 35% increase from the 1.94 million trips as of last year's same period compared. We can do better. What explains this growth basically is, again, deliberate engagements, deliberate activity, deliberate campaigns by government. The Zimbo campaign. It has made people to want to visit. So as tourism business council of Zimbabwe, we are encouraging the local family to promote the eating out culture, to promote the sleeping out culture as families. Yeah. As families. We have to emphasize as families.
I like
the
that.
Sleeping out culture and the eating out culture. And we are seeing an uptick in that. Yeah, we are seeing an uptick in that. So we are happy with what is happening. We know that our local tourists may not spend as much as the international tourists. But if they increase the frequency of this eating out and the sleeping out culture, we will get there. As TBC said, we are not particularly impressed with Zimbabweans flying out, having their holidays in the international locations before they understand their own product. So we are saying to the players in the industry, let's come up with a truly Zimbabwean economy friendly packages for the local guy. So that instead of the local guy every August going to their rural homes, every December going to their rural homes, every Easter holiday traveling to their rural homes, let them go to some lodge, let them go to some local destination of tourist interest. Let them experience Zimbabwe. We cannot talk of Zimbabwe tourism as a top shelf tourist destination when us as Zimbabweans, we have never experienced it.
True.
So I would want us to go across the country, understand what happens at Matusadona, what happens in Gonarejo, what happens in Mount Cylinder at the big tree in Chipinge. That's what I would want people to enjoy first before they travel to Cape Town.
And I think that points to the point you made earlier. It's about the storytelling. No one will be people are more interested in Table Mountain because a story has been told about it. Yet, as you're saying, Mount Cylinder, big tree. There are these things that we don't even know exist. Yeah. No, that's very true. Thank you so much for coming through. We must end the discussion because we're out of time. But I want to thank you so much, Christopher Sithole Kushata. He's interim Chief Executive Officer of the Zimbabwe Tourism Business Council. We hope to have you back again to talk about updates in terms of where we are with all these initiatives that you've spoken about. But thank you so much for coming through.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
That does it for PrimeTime ZW. Join us again next time for another edition. Bye-bye for now.